my dear Cancer. This is a reading about what the person most on your mind would want to happen between you two. With me, Queen of Cups Tarot. And I want to take this opportunity to wish happy birthday to Cancer. I hope you will have a beautiful birthday month. And this reading will be for Cancer, Sun, Moon, Rising Sign, and Venus, Vedic or Tropical. And for Cancer, this will be a reading about what the person most on your mind wants to happen between you two. Can often be a conflict between head and heart, and this will be revealed here, together with the most likely action they will take when it comes to you and your relationship. I will also reveal what they would tell you if they had the guts to tell you the truth with brutally honest oracle cards. For a cross watcher, this reading will most likely be about where the Cancer person's thoughts and feelings are at. The reading can go both ways. The drama is the same, but it can be different castings to the different roles by the universe. And I usually read for the empath side of the story. Also remember that the other person holds up a mirror of your shadow, so that you can be able to see it. In the end, you need to use your own intuition and recognition to determine who is who in this general reading for you. If you want to watch the channel's readings in advance and free from ads, you can become an extended member to the channel. I'm also doing spiritual growth readings for all the members to the channel every week and personal readings for the full members. Subscribe and then check out the different levels through the join button, or simply follow the link in the description box down here to learn more. And I will use the THELEMA tarot for the readings part, and I will start shuffling your cards. So when I open your deck here, I see Three of Cups with Page of Pentacles. So it looks like this person wants to make an invitation, or it seems like you might get an invitation of some sort from someone. Okay, so I call the Divine with Love and Light. And here we have the Temperance card together with Page of Pentacles. So I definitely feel like the person most on your mind are very attracted to you, but they might have a hard time coming from and admitting it. Page of Pentacles can sometimes be a little bit hesitant. It's really a messenger, but it's the most hesitant of the pages. They are all messengers. Okay. But very strong passion here. It's the alchemic wedding. So it's when you feel attracted or fall in love with your opposite. Okay. Or you're working with your shadow. So I call the 4 archangels in the 4 corners of the world. And here we have the 5 of Wands that goes very well with the Temperance card, number 14, 1 + 4, 5. We fall in love with the person that's our opposite. They actually guide us to see our own shadow, the things that we haven't been able to develop just yet, that's potential, or the things that we are trying to ignore about ourselves. Maybe personality traits we don't like, or we think that other people don't like it. So with the 5 of Wands, it's how we battle out things with other people, how we come in conflict with them, because we don't have the same worldview or the same way of seeing the situation, and it might be a blame game going on, or trying to win over the other person. So it's falling a little bit seeds here from the Bjork tree. So when you have battled this out for a long time, eventually you might get an understanding of the other person. You might start to like their taste of music, their taste of food, and so on and so forth. Learn to see their political views or their worldview. And that's when you expand your awareness. So in the beginning, we can think that the other person is a jerk, and eventually we learn to see things a little bit more their way, or they might guide us the way to explore certain personality traits within ourselves that might lie dormant. And for this person, I feel like they want to avoid this kind of conflict or dance. They probably would like to be together with someone that's more like them, so they don't have to have conflicts. And that might be why I'm feeling this hesitation, that they are very attracted to you, but they think maybe the relationship is destructive because you argue a lot, or you don't have the same worldview or the same view of the future, the kind of future you want to have, or maybe you don't share the same dreams. But from a divine point of view, this is a very fertile relationship when it's like this, because you learn a lot. Okay, so I call the 6 elements, and here we have the Ace of Cups with the 5 of Wands. So when we are in love with someone, it's usually a guidance to what we need to learn about ourselves, or the dormant personality traits within us that we need to develop. So when we fall in love with someone, it's also an invitation to grow as a person. So I've seen several signs that this person loves you, but I think there's a small resistance because they want, maybe from a logic standpoint, they want a relationship where you're more like each other. Okay, so 6 elements: earth, wind, fire, water, spirit, and ether, to join us here today and to give us a clear view reading for my Cancer viewers, the birthday child. And I want my dear Cancer to have love in their life and find themselves in loving relationships. I also want you to have creative success and to be able to walk on your highest path towards your highest destiny. Okay, so I'll just tune in for a few seconds here to you and the person most on your mind, and what this person would want to happen between you two. So this is the most likely action that this person will take when it comes to you and your relationship. And this is their feelings that they have, the dreams that they have of you and your relationship. And this is what's on their mind, what they would want to happen. And we have the 5 of Cups. So it seems like this person is very disappointed. They might have walked away from you, feeling like they need to make it on their own because the relationship was very disappointing, or they felt a lot of pain, probably because you didn't have the same ideas about things. You didn't see things the same way. So the battle itself can be very painful, but it can also be that the other person is triggering our awareness and our awakeness by simply doing things that hurts us, because pain is a great teacher. But we can see that this walking away plan, it didn't work too well because this person misses you a lot. Okay, and even though they don't want to, I can add that. And this is what they dream of. And we have the Emperor and the Moon, Ace of Swords. Okay, and here we have the 6 of Wands as well. 2 victory cards. They really want to win over the spiritual side to things. They don't want to follow their soul's calling, which seems to call for you. They want to ignore their feelings and be the master of control over themselves. And it's what they think is best. It's not that it's bad. It's not particularly fruitful, but the person needs to try this out to see what works, because we are dropped here without map and without a compass and without any road direction. So everyone do the best they can, and they try different things and see if it works. Right now, this person is missing you a lot, but trying to sit on top of that a little bit. They want to win over themselves and their desires, and they want to rule their own painful emotions of missing you there with the Moon and the 5 of Cups. And here we have the most likely action, and we have the 3 of Wands, which is reaching out. But I'm feeling here that they long for you. They can't help it, and they probably feel that it's a destructive relationship. And both these Earths, this is Capricorn, Taurus, and this is Earth. It's pure Earth. So it just shows that this person thinks it's wrong, and that's why they are a little bit shy about this, or a little bit hesitant to move forward or to make a move towards you, because they think that the relationship itself is bad. Not that you are bad people, but maybe that the constellation of you two together is bad. But here we can see it's almost like the soul is winning over this person's hesitation. the soulmate connection, the outer-worldly connection also with the universe. And this is 21, 2 plus 1, 3. So they are still waiting for you kind of to come, or for themselves to take the step to reach out. It's a communication card, and it's being open for communication. Okay, and some negotiation, most likely. So what's on their mind? We have a 10 of Wands here, together with a 10 of Pentacles. This person wants to achieve certain things in their life. They have high goals. They have high standards. They want to take really good decisions to get the best outcome that they can have. And they are trying really hard with that. They are working really hard, putting a lot of effort in to have the best outcome that they can ever have. And they are trying to, without what I've seen previously, they are trying to be logic about this, to give themselves the best life possible. And then we have the Fool, and that's their longing for you. It doesn't seem to die. It doesn't seem to go away, even though they might think that they are better off building on their own life and not building on this relationship. It's still, this is sticking up its head, like, but this Cancer, I want this Cancer. I'm longing for this Cancer. Can't stop thinking about this Cancer. And then we have the Page of Swords. So it's 2 children here. And it shows that this person is trying to, it's not good for me. It's not healthy. I'm too naive. I think that love will prevail or fix all our problems, but it's not going to happen. I'm also sensing this person having some childhood issues. So probably projecting a lot of old stuff onto you, which they are rebelling against. Things that's probably not your fault, but something that has happened to this person in the past. And they don't want this to be a repetition, like the same stupid thing happening again. So they're trying to be smart about it and outrule their Fool. But it's probably not going to help particularly much, okay? And then we have the Ace of Pentacles. So it's a potential here. We don't know what the person is going to do, but we can see that they're fighting inside themselves. But this potential, this Fool, Ace of Pentacles first step, it doesn't go away. They think it's bad for them, but it's like the scent of spring. They feel hope. They feel exhilarated over having a start with you here, either a new start or a fresh start or a start altogether, even though maybe you on the paper or in real life it doesn't seem like it adds up. And here we have on their emotional level, and we have a 4 of Pentacles, which goes well with the 4 Emperor, showing that this person is trying to have boundaries both for you and for themselves, probably keeping you on an arm's length distance. And here we have the 8 of Swords, so they are also kind of imprisoning themselves and their own heart, probably in the basement of this castle here. And it's very likely that it's this personality trait that needs to be developed, and it would be developed together with you. But right now, this person has pushed it down into the basement, into the shadow, into prison. And it's probably a very emotional part of them. And it's connected with the 8 of Swords. We also saw the 8 of Cups when the person was walking away. So the 8 is connected with the Strength card, a person that's on their development to become more mature and strong, but they're facing a lot of obstacles on the road. And here the obstacle is their own logic, like their own logic mind saying, no, you stay shackled in the basement. I don't want to see anything of you. And I don't want to hear about this Cancer person. So... okay, and then we have the 8 of Wands. So the imprisoned Fool is re-emerging anyway. They can't imprison this part of them. It's where their hope lies. It's where their happiness lies. It's where their innocence, their love, their spirit. So it's always, it's like smoke. It comes up through all the cracks in the basement, and then it's there again, kind of making it a vision in front of this person or inside this person. where the longing is increasing into some kind of fiery passion, and also it can be like an epiphany that no, I love this person, I want something with this person. And then we have the Wheel of Fortune, which goes well with the Ace of Pentacles, rolling the dice, taking a chance, making a new start. So we'll see where it goes. But it's also working with your karma, or the things that you refuse to work on, that this person was trying to put in a in a box or in a prison cell. Like, I don't want to deal with this. And here it's like, I need to deal with this. Rolling the dice, okay, whatever comes, I will deal with it. But then, no, Seven of Cups, because what happens is that this part of them that has been traumatized once has been imprisoned or put into prison, and when it comes out, it will be hurt, okay? Because it's in the same state as it was when it was traumatized and put away. Humans are like this. We don't like to feel uncomfortable feelings, and if we feel like this, we might compartmentalize ourselves and put the hurt part in prison or in a box and throw away the key. But now this part of them is coming up, and it's going to be freshly traumatized. This is not a time when this person can be very strong for you, or make the right choices, or be the hero, or say I'm sorry, or fix your issues. They are like a big lump of just tears, or crying, or anxiety, or getting panic attacks, things like this. But from a divine point of view, this is really good, because if you bury it, you will always have the trauma. If you face it, you can work through it. It's no way around or avoiding. You need to go through, and that is what is the moon, which this person has been trying to sit on and block, but they won't be able to. This is the Major Arcana Moon, Minor Arcana Moon. This is what spiritually this person needs to face, some bad memories, and on an everyday level, this is how it feels. I don't know what to do. I don't know why I feel this way. And it's very obvious that sometimes we don't know why we feel in certain ways, because if this soul part has been buried in the basement for a very long time, it might have you might have forgotten why it ended up there in the first place. It might have happened many lifetimes ago, a big trauma, and then you won't remember. Like, your body will remember, your tears will remember, but you don't remember. So sometimes we need to have therapy or a past life regression to sort these kind of things out. But it seems like their heart, or the part of them that feels hope and love and are ready to go to fire and water for you, has been stuck in the basement. And when it comes up, it's going to be very traumatized. So at this point, it can't go through fire and water for you. It can only go through its own trauma. Okay, so moving on to the person's most likely action. And we have a Page of Wands here, which is very fiery action. This person really, really longs for you. But at this point, we can see that they still have their lost soul part in the basement, trying to restrain it and keep it there. So at this point, it might be not a heartfelt interest, but maybe more for sexual interest, or it can be an interest in wanting something out of you. Like some parts of you that they want, like if you could do them this service, or you can help them get along with that, or this. So it's a little bit selfish at this point here in the beginning. And then we have the Six of Cups. So it's a reconciliation, and with the Eight of Swords, healing also childhood issues. So here I'm feeling that they are seeing that their happiness or their best future, it's like these seeds here. They feel like they will have it with you. So it's like a realization that they didn't want to make, because they tried to put it in prison, but here they're making it anyway. They thought that this was only available for them, this best life, without you. But here they're realizing it's with you. So here they're waking up a little bit more to this lost soul part of theirs, sorry. And here we have the hangman. So it comes a little bit awkward with, these are like taking the leap of faith, jump. But with the hangman, it's, no, I don't want to take the leap of faith. I'm feeling drawn to the snakes. I'm thinking they are lying in some way. Maybe they don't want to admit to you that they still love you, or want to admit to you that you were right. Maybe you said something like this, and now they know you were right, but they refuse to admit it. So here they're still imprisoning themselves. They're still holding back, but they have made the realization. It just pisses them off a little bit, and it has something to do with humiliation, or not wanting to admit to your victory, something like that, or they don't want to give you the win, is what I'm feeling. And then we have the Four of Cups, so continuous suffering. They're almost being teared apart. Here we have the snake again, because their inner child, it's doing a good job. It wants to stand up for itself and refuse to be traumatized again. So far so good. Unfortunately, they project their karma onto you and say it's your fault. Even if this happened with another person 10,000 years ago, they still think it's your fault. They have projected the pain onto you, that you caused it, because they can't find any other sane reason. They can't feel like, it was because I was left in the crib alone for 5 hours in the day when I was a baby, because my parents had a quarrel. They can't remember that, so in their mind they kind of accuse you. It's you that have brought up this feeling. They didn't feel like this before you came along, but it was when you came along, the Fool was awakened, and like hope of healing. Before it just tried to survive this person or this entity. So here they are refusing to move on because they blame you, because you make them feel like this. It's not true. It's their old trauma, but they don't know that. And this is 4 of Wands, so it skips a step. It's 4 here, a lot of 4s. So it just shows that they stubbornly refuse you, but love you continuously. So that's what this person wants to happen. They don't know what they want, because they can't make sense out of it. They can't understand why they are feeling this way if it's not your fault, because they started to feel like this when you showed up, and so it needs to be your fault that they are feeling like this, and they are trying to ignore you so they will stop feeling like this. So they need, of course, some tools or some guidance from their own guides to understand this better. It's a journey that they probably need to make on their own. Of course, if you could give them some hint and maybe unfold them a little bit, so you can get to the heart and, put a hand on their heart and maybe start the healing a little bit, or pet them on the shoulder. Maybe you can get somewhere with this little entity here and show that you are not the crook in this fairy tale. Okay, so see what they would want to say to you. I love someone else. I feel that for some of you, there might be that they want to love someone else. Maybe they have another relationship, or would love someone that's better suited for them. Or they might, for example, it can be a deeper conflict. This can be a person that's already married with the Emperor here, and they want to stay true to that marriage, and they don't want to feel the way they feel with you. So they are focusing on this, that they want to love someone else. Either that person is already in their life, or it's a person that they want to have in their life, like a better match. And because you make them feel like this, and they don't want that, but it's because you are showing them the way to their trauma, or their soul is feeling like it could open up, like this traumatized part feel like, that's the person that can help me heal. So then it wakes up, and this person feels, I feel so much pain, it must be the cancer person's fault. So they want a better match, someone that doesn't make them feel like that. It might be a little bit more boring relationship, but they don't feel pain or anxiety or panic attacks. I need to learn from my own mistakes. So it's also what I see, that this person will not be easily persuaded by you to see things your way. They have made up their mind, and they need to go down this road and see that it was the wrong one. It's not because, haha, I told you so you can say that. It's because you can't really learn from somebody else's mistake. You need to go down every road to learn from it. And that's why we live so many lifetimes and go in this circle again and again and again until we learned everything that's to learn in this area. And what more do they want to say to you? I can't forgive. Yeah, they still think that this is your fault. And it's not much you can do. As I said, you can try to reach out to their heart and tell them that you want only the best for them. And what they are feeling is their awakened heart, and it's hurting. And that you would love to help them with releasing that pain. But they still think that this is all your fault. And this is what you are would want to say. The grass was always greener elsewhere. This might go for both of you, that both of you would have wanted an easier relationship, like a better match, or you feel like this person never really made the choice to be with you. They really didn't give themselves 100% to you. And therefore you might have been dreaming about someone that would do that. And someone will always get hurt. Yes, it's very delicate when we're dealing with our own and other people's emotion. Of course, someone will always get hurt. But pain is how we learn as well. So this person is struggling with a lot of pain, and it will teach them eventually what they need to learn. And so pain isn't really a bad thing. It just shows you, here you still have things that you haven't learned. So it's like school. Pain is like school. Inside me, I scream your name. So I think you miss this person as much as they miss you. But it's unfortunate that this person isn't in a favorable place for giving themselves wholeheartedly to you. They could take things from you, like temporarily, or maybe feel or give you a hint of them wanting to reconcile, but then they will go back to being stubborn again, but continuously love you. So it's not easy for this person either. So I see the most possible outcome for this situation from a divine point of view. Romantic feelings. Your feelings are real and worth exploring. This person is trying to persist, like they're trying to resist this, but the divine persists. The feelings are real and worth exploring. Okay, and I will also take from Wisdom of the House of Night to get some advice for you, or maybe it will describe the situation a little bit more in detail or deeper in some sense. Vision. Aphrodite, and it's the moon there. So I'm thinking this is the part that this person is missing, the Aphrodite part of themselves. A very strong part, a very loving part, but some part that has been deeply traumatized or very unjustly treated. When you choose this symbol, it means that no matter what you lose in your life, something better will replace it. One day in my house of night, there will be a young, beautiful vampire who will lose her mark but gain great vision into the future. Even if a loss feels devastating at the moment, you still have so much to gain. If your question is about the future, choose another card. The magical vision that you will receive here gives you the temporary power to see the future as a vast place full of possibility and potential. Your next card will provide insight into the condition ahead of you. To know the future is to be prepared. So it's a very old and wise part of them that has gotten traumatized, and it's what it is. It's not much you can do about this now, but if this person could open themselves up, they would get a really deep understanding about things. But this also guided us to take another card. So I think this card will be more deeply connected to you and the advice for you. Forbidden. It came in reversed. 18. As your goddess, I'm sending you this warning. You're about to enter into a situation that will not be easy and could cause you and others pain. Not all doorways are meant to be open. Not all relationships are good for you. Not all love is expressed and not all desires are realized. Right now, I'm saying no to you. The symbol for forbidden also reminds you that although you may feel pain when someone rejects you, this is one of my ways of protecting you. I may whisper in someone's ear to stay away. It's for the best, even if you don't believe it right now. This is the symbol to move on and choose another path. This is, again, how this other person has been feeling all along, that it's too much pain, it's too much confusing. They want to choose another path. And since it came in the reverse, what I'm feeling is that let this person go for now, okay? When they reject you, if they reject you here, it's because the divine has whispered in their ear that they should stay away from you, because they are going through a lot of pain, and as I have seen, they are blaming you, and maybe you don't need to be in the other end of that. So for right now, maybe you can't explore this relationship further, and it makes you maybe feel stuck. If you get a chance to move on, move on. And if you are being held back, it's because there's a issue of divine timing, where this person needs to get some kind of epiphany or be more ready. They need to take back this part of them, this very wise part of them that unfortunately is imprisoned. Okay, so I hope this helped, and I would urge you to watch the reading their True Thoughts and Feelings for your sign in the True Thoughts and Feelings playlist, or the love reading for June or July. That will probably reveal more. You can also watch What Do They Want to Happen from previous month to get a deeper development of this story from then till now, so getting a deeper insight into this situation. And until next time, take really good care and bye-bye.